Is your water safe to drink? Well, we uncovered involving the EPA's responsibility to ensure that it is.
Plus, the recovery people in the Midwest face after tornadoes ripped through that region today. And now the manhunt underway in our area for this man. What we're learning new tonight and a live report. 10
minutes of nonstop news and your first forecast all before the first commercial.
This is 10 at 10.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 10 in high definition.
This road is no longer passable in front of me. There are trees on this road. This tornado has all but stalled at this point. I've got to watch to make sure it does.
That tornado is one of several that hit out west today. The severe weather led to 2 deaths and serious damage.
Here's another tornado that touched down today. A news helicopter caught it in a rural area. This is about 100 miles south of Oklahoma City. That station reports the tall rope-shaped tornado stayed on the ground for at least 5 minutes.
And this is what's left in parts of southern Oklahoma. Reporters there say the twisters destroyed at least 3 homes, overturned cars and trucks, and tore trees limb to limb. Strong storms are also moving into our area.
We're already hearing about some damage. We've got reports of several trees down. This is in the Poplar Bluff, Missouri area over parts of Double P Highway. Let's check in with meteorologist Jennifer Rukavina. Some warnings out there, right?
Yeah, and like you said, the Poplar Bluff area most recently seeing some of those high wind reports up 50 to 60 miles per hour, but also a lot of tree damage. And it's thanks to these wind makers here. We really don't have a high tornado threat. It's more of a wind-making storm threat here as it makes its way in towards the Mississippi River from southeast Missouri to western Kentucky. Our new severe thunderstorm warnings are for western Fulton County, New Madrid, Mississippi, and Scott County. That will continue until 10:45 with the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds. In fact, over the last couple of frames here, you can see hardly any lightning associated with it. You have to go very southern part of these storms back into Dunkeld County to see any of that lightning, but certainly seeing a lot of very strong winds moving into those areas. And hopefully we'll get a view of that a little bit closer coming up in just a few minutes, but we'll bring you the very latest hour by hour again coming up in a few minutes.
Bringing you breaking news now. Police now say they have a perimeter set up in an effort to capture this man, Tracy Clint Pendleton. He's accused of the attempted murder of a police officer. This all began Saturday in the town of Mahomet, Illinois, near Champaign-Urbana. Investigators say Pendleton shot Officer Jeremy Charlo in the arm and that he may be injured and armed with an AK-47. This is video our crews took earlier today at the command center police set up in Pope County, Illinois this morning. There are several agencies stationed there, including Illinois State Police, local sheriff's offices, and the U.S. Marshals. Police say there are other units posted around area roads as well. Local 6's Amanda Roberts joins us live. And Amanda, you've been there all day.
Yes, the police have taken most of the day to set up a perimeter, but good news, they believe they have most of their resources in place right now. Illinois State Police Captain William Sons tells me part of the reason it's taken them most of the day is because of the Shawnee National Forest and how rugged that terrain is. But they believe that with Pendleton, if he had known some of the information, that would have put some officers' lives at risk, which is part of the reason why we have withheld that information. But neighbors that I talked to in this area just tell me they wish they would have known what was going on down the road.
You're just hanging around the house. You don't have the doors locked or anything. You know, you're just sitting and relaxing and don't expect anything like that down the road.
Captain Sons tells me that since they have set up the perimeter, they have not made contact with Pendleton, but no other officers have been injured. Reporting live from the mobile newsroom, Amanda Roberts, WPSD Local 6.
Amanda, thank you. Police say Pendleton may be driving a stolen truck that looks like this one, a white 2007 GMC pickup truck with Illinois plates 165533B. If you have any information, call police. Well, Illinois State Police identified the woman killed in a collision with a state trooper who was helping to search for Pendleton. Troopers say Kelly Wilson died in the Saturday night crash. The trooper's condition and identity aren't known. To receive breaking news mobile alerts on your cell phone, just text the word breaking to 66166.
When you have the community on your side, you're not going to have them all on your side, but when you have the community on your side, things sort of turn about and morale will lift.
Ferguson, Missouri's new police chief is promising to bring the community and police department together. Veteran officer Delrish Moss from Miami, Florida, was sworn into office today. He is the first black chief in the city of racial unrest. He was selected last month after a 3-month nationwide search. A domestic crisis center is closer to acquiring the money needed to move to a new location. Tonight, the McCracken County Fiscal Court agreed to apply for a $500,000 community development block grant on behalf of the Merriman House in Paducah. If awarded, the money would go towards the necessary funds the group needs to purchase buildings and land on Burger Road. Our region is now home to the nation's official mammal, the bison. President Obama signed the Bison Legacy Act today. It elevates the animal's stature to join the ranks of the country's symbolic bald eagle.
New at 10, a man accused of shooting and killing a detective in Kansas is in custody in Missouri tonight. Police arrested Curtis Ayers in Kansas City after a shootout. Investigators say Ayers was on the run following a shooting on this road in Kansas City, Kansas. They say the detective was responding to a report of a suspicious person when he was shot at least twice. The detective later died at a hospital. Dozens of Americans are now tied to tax fraud and evasion. A journalism organization that reported on the so-called Panama Papers released a huge batch online today. They include more than 360,000 people and companies with offshore accounts. Those accounts are legal, but can be used to avoid taxes and hide criminal activity. The Panama Papers were leaked from a law firm in Panama. To Decision 2016 coverage, presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump is already planning for a possible transition to the presidency. Today, he announced New Jersey Governor Chris Christie as transition team chairman. Christie quickly endorsed Trump after ending his own presidential run in February. Former presidential candidate, meanwhile, Marco Rubio, is showing no support for Trump. In a statement released today, Rubio says he is not interested in serving as Trump's running mate. Trump had previously named Rubio, along with Ted Cruz and John Kasich, as a possible candidate for vice president. Trump is heading to Washington, D.C. this week in an effort to gain support from these top Republicans. On Thursday, he is expected to meet with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican National Convention Chair Reince Priebus, and House Speaker Paul Ryan, who is also RNC's co-chair. Today, Ryan told a Wisconsin newspaper he will step down from the co-chair position if Trump asks him to.
And Jennifer, in the Democratic race, Hillary Clinton is coming back to Kentucky ahead of the state's primary next Tuesday. She is scheduled to speak in Louisville tomorrow night at Louisville's Slugger Field. Her husband, former President Bill Clinton, will be in Kentucky Thursday. No word yet on exactly where he will be. Democratic candidates for U.S. Senate are also preparing for the Kentucky primary. During tonight's forum, 5 underfunded candidates piled on frontrunner Jim Gray for putting his own money into his campaign. Gray bolstered his campaign account with his $1 million loan to his campaign. The Democrats are vying for Republican Senator Rand Paul's seat in November.
New roads and bridges to help you get around more safely. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin held a ceremonial signing of the transportation bill today near Lexington. The 2-year plan includes building a new I-24 interchange at Old Mayfield Road in McCracken County and replacing the US 60 bridge over the Cumberland River in Livingston County.
This old plant could open its doors again. A redevelopment group out of Nashville held a workshop tonight asking for your thoughts on redeveloping the former Reelfoot packing plant in Union City, Tennessee. An organizer says workshops like this will help guide leaders in making the plant an active part of the community.
This could be the third leg of that stool, if you will, one being Discovery Park, the other being downtown Union City and the business district itself, as well as what can happen along that commercial corridor in the Reelfoot packing plant site.
You still have time to participate in the Reelfoot packing plant design workshops. There's one tomorrow night from 6 to 7:30 at the plant. Wednesday, doors are open all day. The workshops end Thursday night with a closing presentation from 6 to 7:30. What Facebook is saying after claims it censors politically conservative posts.
Plus, is your water safe to drink? What we uncovered about the EPA's failures. And what time are you planning on getting up tomorrow?
The link between how much sleep you get and your chance of surviving breast cancer.
And we'll all probably hear a little thunder overnight tonight. We're tracking storms hour by hour coming up after the break. You're watching Local 6 at 10.
Your breaking news and weather authority with Todd Faulkner, Jennifer Horbelt, Weather Authority Jennifer Rukavina, and Jeff Bidwell Sports. You're watching Local 6 at 10 in high definition. WPSD Local 6, the Weather Authority, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Well, we've been talking about a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings this evening, thanks to one storm in particular that's moving through southeast Missouri, and we've been seeing a little bit of lightning on our Saladino and Shaft Sky Tracker network. Back to the west, things are fairly quiet here at the Weather Center right now, even along I-24. Fairly quiet, hardly any traffic right now. Cloudy skies here at the Weather Center, 67 degrees, and our humidity at 81%. Our winds out of the south at about 9 miles per hour and gusting up to around 15 and 20 miles per hour over the course of the evening. And as we take a look at Ultimate Doppler 6 live radars, here's why. You can see some of those showers and storms, especially across portions of the Boot Hill back towards Cape Girardeau, south along I-55 to New Madrid, northern Pemiscot and Dunklin County. And now a little line of storms trying to develop here along the Mississippi River into the Purchase area of western Kentucky. Even a little bit of lightning showing up on detection there. And as we get a little bit closer, you can see this particular line of storms has prompted severe thunderstorm warnings because of this bowing out feature that you're seeing here from around New Madrid all the way north towards the interchange of Highway 60 and I-55. And that's what's continuing those severe thunderstorm warnings for those of you in Mississippi County, New Madrid, and into sections of western Fulton County in western Kentucky, all for the damaging wind threat here. We've seen a few power poles and trees down as this storm rolled through parts of Stoddard County and back towards Butler County. And again, here's that little line of storms now developing, not severe by any means, but certainly putting down a heavy downpour and some frequent lightning from Bardwell all along Highway 51, all the way down through Hickman and Union City. And as we look at a little bit wider view, you can see this stark contrast between green and red. That's where you've got those very strong winds on the leading edge of those storms. And as we take a wider view here, we're going to put a track on it so you can see where these are headed as they are moving off to the east at about 55 miles per hour. So this puts it into western Kentucky here not before too long. In fact, crossing the Mississippi River here fairly quickly. Into Hickman as we move through about 10:34, Clinton by 10:43, Union City, if this may clip the north side of town, 10:55, and then on towards Mayfield if it holds together through 11 o'clock. So that's the very latest on the track of those storms. Non-severe showers and storms continue along Route 13. Some thunder and lightning in there near Marion and Carterville, and back towards the DuQuoin area and closer to the Mississippi River. So we're probably all going to hear a little bit of thunder. You can see the progression of these storms through about 3 a.m. They continue to push into western Kentucky. May see a couple of rounds of heavy rain and some of those storms. If we do see anything severe, it's going to be those strong winds that we see associated with it most likely, as well as some frequent lightning. You may hear a lot of thunder overnight tonight. By 6 a.m., still a wet start for some of us in Kentucky and Illinois. And then we'll see yet another round, possibly near the lunch hour, especially if we get some sunshine in tomorrow, kind of fuel that atmosphere a little more. We could see by about 11 o'clock by the noon hour, central Illinois here into southern Illinois, seeing another line develop, and that will swing east into the Pennyroyal region, and that's where we have a slight risk for some of those storms become severe tomorrow. The main threat going to be damaging winds. So keep the umbrella handy and make sure you have the weather radio on, just in case. This is not a high threat for severe weather, but certainly you may hear some gusty winds, some strong winds overnight tonight. Breezy otherwise tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south at 10 to 20 with a high near 80. If we get some sunshine in here, we'll definitely reach 80, but then 30% chance of showers and storms on Wednesday, and maybe a few isolated early on Thursday, but we'll keep with the very mild temperatures, kind of that muggy atmosphere. You can see here as we move into your 7-day planning forecast. Pretty perfect Friday, 77, mostly sunny, and isolated shower Saturday morning, and then an isolated storm on Sunday, but our greater rain chances will hold off until Monday of next week.
Breaking news, this missing teenager has been found. Paducah police say 15-year-old Alexis Froman was reported missing Saturday. Police say she's been found in good health. To receive breaking news mobile alerts on your cell phone, just text the word breaking to 66166.
How well you sleep at night could impact your chances of surviving breast cancer. A study compared sleep behaviors of more than 20,000 women diagnosed with an early stage of the disease. Those who snored more than 5 nights a week and slept for less than 6 hours each night were at least 2 times more likely to die. Doctors recommend around 7 hours of sleep each night to avoid the health risks associated with poor sleep.
Is Facebook censoring politically conservative articles? That's the accusation against the social media website, as reported by Gizmodo. Citing a former Facebook news curator, the tech news agency says Facebook deliberately does not include articles from politically conservative outlets in its trending news sidebar. Now, Facebook denies the allegation, saying, quote, "There are rigorous guidelines in place for the review team to ensure consistency and neutrality. These guidelines do not permit the suppression of political perspectives, nor do they permit the prioritization of one viewpoint over another or one news outlet over another."
Is your family's water safe to drink?
Next at 10, what we uncovered involving the federal agency that's supposed to target polluters.
You're watching WPSD Local 6.
You expect your water and your air to be clean.
And the Federal Environmental Protection Agency is supposed to crack down on polluters. A catastrophic water pollution problem in Flint, Michigan provides one glimpse at how bad things get when the EPA fails. We examine the EPA's record, and you may be surprised by what we found in our special Safe to Drink. This former operating site for Texas Instruments in Massachusetts has been out of compliance with federal water pollution laws for 3 years. Chemicals linked to health problems are discharging into nearby brooks, according to data from the EPA. What's happening here reflects a national problem. 74% of what the EPA classifies as major facilities in the country are not in compliance with the Clean Water Act.
Not only is there a deficit in terms of enforcement and inspections and actual bodies to look at the reports that indicate violations, there's also an incredible backlog.
The EPA can levy fines of up to tens of thousands of dollars a day, but EPA total fines have plummeted in recent years from $60 million in 2012 to $10 million in 2015.
There are so few enforcements happening in these water pollution cases that companies don't want to pay the money to be in compliance. It's less expensive for them to operate outside the law than the risk they calculate to face enforcement.
Critics say Congress's decision to cut the EPA budget impacts enforcement.
I know there are committed professionals who want to see the Clean Water Act enforced and want to get the job done, but the reality is that year after year, the resources that are devoted to enforcement, both at the federal EPA and at the state and local level, have gotten smaller and smaller.
The culprits are private companies and municipal treatment facilities that are supposed to clean up water before it ends up in waterways.
Citizens should be able to have faith that their government is protecting their drinking water.
All right, the EPA defends its record, saying it's working with the most serious violators to clean up their sites, but the agency concedes that budget cutbacks are making its job much more difficult. For helpful links surrounding this issue, including additional information about the Environmental Protection Agency, head to our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com. Click on Salt on 6.
Scanning the satellites now, this pink diamond could fetch between $28 to $38 million. The 15.38-carat pear-shaped diamond will be auctioned off on Sunday in Switzerland. An auctioneer says that stone is the largest and rarest shade of fancy vivid pink to ever be put on the market.
Spinning tops captivating an audience in Taiwan. A group of traditional spinning top artists showed off several tricks at a temple. Spinning tops are an ancient tradition in Taiwan. All right, now for sports and a big night of hockey.
Yes, a big night of hockey indeed. As the St. Louis Blues, they have gone to Game 7. They lost to Dallas tonight. The Predators down 3-2. Their season could be over as they trail 3-2 in the third period against San Jose. Plus,
there he is.
Big team and maybe all of Kentucky on the road facing arguably the best small school this side of the state. Highlights and reaction from McCracken County and Lyon County. Coming up, you're watching WPSD Local 6 at 10.
We have more breaking news to bring you. Louisville Metro Police confirmed they are pursuing a man wanted in connection to a murder in Paducah. Tracell Nunn is wanted in connection to last month's shooting death of Gary Johnson. That was outside the Brick House nightclub. Louisville police say shots were fired during their pursuit, but no one was hit. No word yet on whether none is in custody. Paducah police have already arrested 2 other suspects in that case. To receive breaking news mobile alerts on your cell phone, just text the word breaking to 66166.
McCracken County softball team has been #1 in the state all season long, and why not? The defending state champs entered tonight 25-1. They've won 21 straight games. Standing in the red tonight, Lyon County, the Lady Lions, 24-3 this season. They had an 18-game winning streak snapped in the All-A Classic State semifinals. McCracken came in wanting to see Lyon County sophomore pitcher Sophie Bingham. Top 1-2 on for McCracken. Callie Harris shoots one to right. That would allow a pair of runs to score. And Lady Mustangs up 2-0 after 1. Top 2, same score, 2 on again. This time Hannah Rodolfi at the plate. Rodolfi with the line drive to left. 2 more score. Rodolfi ended up on third. 5-0 McCracken after 2. And then the floodgates just opened. Top 3, it's 7-0. Rodolfi back at the plate. Sends one deep to left. McCracken big. 15-0 over Lyon County. Afterwards, both coaches said their teams were able to learn something from this one.
We've watched her in travel ball and stuff. We know she's got a good rise ball and she can throw the ball hard. And we need to see that before we get in the district. And actually, we needed to see it before we get the Bowling Green this weekend. So it done us good to see her throw.
Make no mistake about it. They beat us in every aspect of the game tonight. However, who do we wake up tomorrow? Who are we when we wake up? What's and we'll know that about this time tomorrow night. Going forward, we needed this. We really did.
Mustangs will next play in the Best of the West tournament in Bowling Green. Lyon County is at Madisonville tomorrow night. Jen?
And we'll take another look if we can... Okay, here's another check of new severe thunderstorm warnings that we're tracking here. Moving into western Kentucky as that line of strong winds continues to push across the Mississippi River, central Pulaski, southern Alexander, in southern Illinois, Carlisle, Ballard, and still Mississippi County. Severe thunderstorm warning will continue until 11 o'clock tonight for this line of storms that continues to press across the Mississippi River. At this time, you can see it stretches from near Cairo and the Wickliffe area all the way south towards the Tennessee line there. Would not be surprised if we see Northern Lake and Obion County get included in this at some point, and also for those in Hickman and Fulton counties. But you can see here the northern end of this is where we're seeing the strongest winds right now, and that's getting ready to push into Ballard County up towards as you get into Pulaski County and eventually Paducah Metropolis. This also moving in your direction too, so we could see some very strong winds across the area. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. Could see some gusty winds, some frequent lightning and heavy downpours with all of these storms that move across the area tonight, but the general trend is for this to weaken over the next couple of hours. We will continue to track the storm and bring you the very latest here on Local 6.